Happy New Year and welcome back, family. Today's video will be a pan-seared salmon along with some shrimp in a garlic honey lemon sauce. Yes, a garlic honey lemon sauce, delicious. Alongside, I am going to roast some beautiful fennel. Fennel and salmon go hand in hand. Fennel is a root vegetable and it has sort of a licorice taste to it. Fabulous when you roast it. Alongside the fennel, I have some tri-colored carrots with the top still on. How cute is this? I also have one large orange bell pepper along with some wild wonders. And these are tomatoes, and you see they come in different colors and shapes. For the sauce, I have honey, I have 2 lemons, and I'm also going to have some cold butter that right now I still have in the freezer, because a trick to the best lemon sauce, butter sauce, is to have cold butter so the sauce doesn't break. As far as for the fish seasoning, I have a Kinder seafood blend. It's great when you're grilling, but it's going to be great on this salmon. I have my favorite Caribbean tradition fish seasoning and a little bit of turmeric. Guys, turmeric is so healthy for us. We need it in everything we eat. It helps with inflammation, joint pains. And it helps build up your immune system as well. So if you haven't been cooking with turmeric, make sure you get you some organic turmeric to cook with, or just get you some supplements and take. But once I get everything prepped, I'm going to come back and we're going to get started on this dish. So excited, can't wait. Welcome back. I have completed prepping. I have cleaned and cut up my leek. I have also cleaned and split in half my colored carrots. I have sliced the orange bell pepper, and I've also cut in halves my tri-colored tomatoes. So what I'm going to do is get a big mixing bowl, and I'm going to put in my fennel, toss it off in here. And then I am going to make sure I get it all in there. We don't want to miss out on any of that goodness. Then I'm going to get some olive oil, and I am going to drizzle, maybe 2 tablespoons of olive oil on top of this. And then I am going to sprinkle on just the end of my garlic butter seasoning. I love this seasoning, and I have to get some more. So I'm just going to eyeball and sprinkle some on. And then I'm going to get in there with my hands, and I'm just going to toss this to each piece of fennel is coated. Once it's coated nicely, I am going to come over here to my foiled cooking sheet, and I'm going to spread these out on there. Then I'm going to come back and do the same thing for the carrots. Toss them in. Put about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil on there. Sprinkle a little bit more of my garlic butter seasoning. And toss the carrots. Toss the carrots. Make a sound, y'all. Okay, once they're coated, I'm going to come back over to my tray and spread out the carrots. And I'm going to repeat with my peppers, and I will save the tomatoes for when the salmon is just about cooked. I'll toss my tomatoes in with the pan-seared salmon. So I'm going to sprinkle the last of my butter seasoning on there, garlic butter seasoning, and I'm going to toss these and come back over. Now once I get them all on here, I'm just going to take my hand and I am going to spread them out. So each carrot, each pepper, and each piece of fennel is touching the cooking surface. So it will cook evenly and it will not steam. So I'm going to spread those out, make sure that I'm getting them on there. And there is my tray of roasted vegetables. Well, they're about to get roasted because I'm going to stick them in the oven at 400 for about 15 minutes. So I will get back with you when I start the salmon. Okay, family, I am back and I've I've cheated. I've decided to make some homemade mashed potatoes, and I didn't mention that earlier on. So what I have here is called a ricer. And what a ricer does, it gives you the best mashed potatoes you've ever had in your life because it makes them smooth and creamy. So I'm going to show you how it works. I boiled some medium or some small yellow Yukon potatoes until they are fork and knife tender. And y'all, this potato is hot, but I got hands of steel. So what I do is I take the potato. I'm working with one hand because I'm the camera woman and the cook. And I place the potato inside the ricer. Then you close the ricer. Guys, I don't know how I'm going to show you this, but I have to have both hands. You squeeze it and the potatoes come through. So once I'm done ricing, I have some heavy cream over here that I'm warming up because you don't want to mix cold cream to hot potatoes. And I have some butter. And I'm going to mix all this together along with maybe some garlic seasoning or maybe some more goodies. I'm going to check the fridge, but I'll come back. This was just a little bonus treat that I'm making. But I will come back when I get the salmon and shrimp going and my garlic lemon honey sauce. See ya. Okay, family, I'm back to give you a better look at those potatoes that I was ricing. If you look at the potatoes, they are fluffy and light. When you boil them and you press them through that ricer, you can put them through with the skins on and just take the skin out of the ricer when you're done. So now I'm going to pour in a little heavy cream that I have warmed. Just going to pour a little bit in. And then I am going to add in some, I can't believe it's not butter. Toss a little bit in there. And I'm going to start making mashed potatoes. And they're so creamy and light, it's not going to take a lot of work. I'm just going to keep mixing, keep pouring in some hot cream, keep adding my butter, and then I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. And I'll show you when this all comes together. All right, it's time to make that honey lemon garlic sauce. So what I've done is I've taken the juice of 2 lemons and I've squeezed them. I am going to preheat my pan. I have already placed in about a tablespoon of olive oil, and it's kind of warm because I had it preheating. So I'm going to go ahead and toss in a teaspoon and maybe a half of minced garlic. I'm going to go ahead and toss that in, and I'm going to move it around in the olive oil. Now typically you would add some white wine to this, but I don't have any. Well, I do have some, but you know how you have that good stuff that you don't want to cook with? Actually, we bought some on vacation in Hot Spring, Arkansas. We went to a winery, so it's actually a souvenir. But anywho, we're going to use the lemon juice, and instead of using the white wine, I'm going to use a little bit of vegetable stock, and the lemon juice will give it the acidity that it needs. I'm tossing the honey. I have some butter that's still in my freezer because the trick is to put cold butter in here, and then we're going to add our seasonings in, okay? I'm actually making the sauce before I make the salmon, which is a little backwards because typically we'll want to use the leftover remains in your pan that you cooked your salmon in, get more flavor out of, but I'm trying to plan this dinner just right, time it just right for my husband when he gets home, so I want to go ahead and have the sauce made so I can just cook the salmon and shrimp and be ready to eat. So I'm just sauteing this garlic, minced garlic around, making sure that it does not burn. We just wanted to get a little golden. You do not want burnt garlic. That's going to make your sauce bitter. Speaking of bitter, I need to get out the brown sugar because we need to let a little bit of brown sugar off in here. I thought about that. So while that's mixing in, I'm going to go ahead and toss in my lemon juice. That's going to stop it from burning. And I am going to mix in a tad bit of vegetable broth. That should do it right there. And we're gonna let this continue to simmer. You can barely see it in there, but it's in there. I promise you, when I add the brown sugar and the honey, I'll go back and add more chicken broth vegetable broth as I need it. So I'm gonna come back when I start to pull this sauce together. See ya. Okay, so I have added in a little bit more vegetable broth to our sauce. I've added in the honey, probably about 4 tablespoons of honey I squeezed off in here. Then I put a tablespoon of brown sugar, so I'm letting it go. And now I'm about to drop in my cold butter, and I'm going to whisk that in. So about 3 packs, and if I need more, I'll add more. So we're gonna let this melt down in here. And I think I'm gonna crank my heat up just a little bit. And we'll melt this butter down off in here, and that's gonna bring the sauce together. And once that butter is melted down in there, I'm gonna hit it with a little thyme, and we'll taste it and reduce it, and then we'll start on the fish and shrimp. So I'm just gonna keep letting this butter melt, and we'll come back when the sauce is finished. Okay, I am ready to season my beautiful salmon and my shrimp. So I'm gonna start with a little of Kinder's seafood blend. Just gonna sprinkle a little bit of that on there. And of course, this is your typical paprika, brown sugar, I believe in there. Some other type of seasoning salt, onion powder, and garlic powder. Then I'm going to put my Caribbean fish blend on here. Sprinkle a little bit on there. There we go. It's going to be generous because we want it to be flavorful. And last but not least, the turmeric that I was telling you about earlier on. Very good for our health. So I'm going to sprinkle some turmeric on. Now for my shrimp, I'm going to use the same seasonings because we want this to be consistent. So a little bit more of my Kindred seafood blend. A little of my Caribbean fish seasoning. And a little turmeric. Keep in mind, we have a delicious honey garlic butter sauce that we're going to be putting on top of this when it's done. So I'm going to toss the shrimp. Make sure they're coated evenly. And then I'm going to get my skillet nice and hot. And I will come back when I place it in the skillet. See ya. All right, we are ready to cook our salmon and shrimp. We have a nice big skillet preheating with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm going to go ahead and place my room temperature seasoned salmon into the skillet away from me so I do not get splattered. I love to hear that sizzle. And I'm going to let that go about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. And then I'll toss in the shrimp. And I forgot about my tomatoes to toss in over there. Be back when it's all put together. Welcome back, family. I'm finished with the finished product. Here it is, my pan-seared salmon with a honey garlic glaze with grilled shrimp, roasted fennel, tricolored carrots, grilled tomatoes, and homemade mashed potatoes. When I say it's a plate full of flavor time, you better believe it. Until next time, see ya. Good night, I'm ready to eat.